Astro Souls, welcome to my sidereal astrology page. My name's Jessie, and I wanted to look at this new moon solar eclipse on the 2nd of October. And not just the eclipse itself, but what is this final eclipse season as part of the journey you might have been moving through as the nodes have been moving through Virgo and Pisces. So you can see here the nodes are 7 degrees Pisces and Virgo. The nodes move backwards. We have been journeying since about July, August last year in 2023. These themes, these area of life, you can check what house these signs are in your chart, and this is going to give you a deeper understanding of potentially what area of life this soul evolution, changing and developing has really been playing out for you. Developing is a big word for the Pisces and Virgo axis. It's really the sign of physical and spiritual development. When we have the 12 signs, Virgo is the final sign before we move into the polarity. So the self, before the self begins to learn about the other, we reach Virgo, and it's all about the physical development, the upkeep of the material world, the physical world, the mechanics of everyday life. And these sorts of Virgo rituals, I call them Virgo rituals because I got a lot of Pisces energy, and it helps me to stay connected with that, getting the little things done. You know, Virgo rules work. It rules our health. And we can see that through to maintain good health, we need to put consistent work in. We need to eat our greens daily. Especially with herbs, if you enjoy drinking different herbal infusions or making decoctions, it's a preventative medicine. Herbs and crystals as well can work very powerfully overnight. I mean, sodalite, for example, if you've got high blood pressure, sodalite will instantly bring your high blood pressure down. And crystals and herbs can work like that. But on the whole, it's about consistent use of natural medicine. And so Virgo rules the natural medicine comes from the earth. It rules the healing. And I feel like Virgo gets a bit of a bad rap because, and I find this with a lot of Librans, tropical Librans, and if you're a tropical Libra, let me know, how this falls or if you've experienced this. Any other astrologers out there, or if you're into sidereal astrology and this has come up for you, I find there are certain signs. I say to them, okay, you're the sun before, telling a Capricorn they're a Sagittarius, that always, yes, is 100% a yes. Telling the Virgos that they're a Leo as well. I mean, just completely opposite. And but when I say to Libras, you've got a Virgo sun, they sort of go, oh, kind of, no, I don't really feel that. And I get that a lot actually. Also with Scorpios. Tropical Scorpios love being Scorpios. They love that kind of edge Scorpio has, and you tell them they're a Libra and they can sort of, not really resonate with that. However, this is where I actually like, I'm going a bit off piece now, but this is where I like to use the tropical chart as a progressed energy, and a big way of how I like to share sidereal astrology, which is taking us back to understand, beyond the fact that it's astronomically accurate, the equinoxes are changing, the solstices stay the same. So we're getting taken back to understand the sign before we can fully embody Scorpio, we got to understand Libra. Before we can fully embody Libra, we got to understand Virgo. So actually, when we're looking at progressed charts or progressed energy, the progressed energy is in Scorpio. Someone with the sun in Virgo as an adult, they will have their progressed energy in Libra. You will feel it. And that's why I really resonate with both. However, I choose to use the sidereal, and I see it time and time again show up as very, very accurate. So we're all looking at the same glass from different lenses, regardless of what astrological system that you're using, what house system that you're using. I like using sidereal, Ganatis, and equal house. Hoping that this makes sense. I am not talking about the eclipse itself. This is Venus. If you have a natal Venus or any planets in Virgo, this last 12 months roughly will have been really showing you a lot, and you have been shifting and changing through the axes of the physical realm and the spiritual realm, and things going out. It could also be a health issue that you've been working with for a long time that you've wanted to go out, and this has actually meant that you can spend more time focusing on your spiritual development. It's really important for you to just embody and understand that these symbols show up in multidimensional ways. The more that you take time to be very Piscean about it and just reflect on all of the different ways that this could be showing up for you, you're going to find, okay, now I'm seeing this thread. It might also be something very obvious that has jumped out to you. You know, there might have been a very, very obvious themes going on, but it will have been in relation to work, to your everyday life, and to whatever that house reveals to you. For example, in the second house, money, possessions, assets may have been playing out um, in this nodal experience of growth and evolution. Let's have a look at this upcoming eclipse and how we can work with it. So we've got here this new moon solar eclipse with Mercury conjunct Mercury. So this is going to be a highly sensitive, highly sensitive time. Definitely not a time to be playing around with electrical appliances. I actually read for a woman once who had um motor problems in her feet. Feet are ruled by the 12th house, and all of the doctors couldn't tell her why she would find it very difficult to walk. And I pulled up her chart, and she'd had all of these planets in her 12th house and was born on an eclipse. There is something that happens. If you can imagine the nodes of the moon, it's an electrical circuit, it's an electrical flow of energy. The moon is magnetic, and it's a flow of electrical energy that comes through, in and out. And eclipses are a moment when it's disrupted. It's switched off to switch on again. And so we can use that metaphysically, psycho-spiritually to do that with ourselves, to allow whatever needs to be switched off and on to be reset, play out for us, and just to reflect on what are the lessons of soul growth and soul evolution. The moon rules the soul. And it's almost like this is how I sense it as well. Things can get so hot sometimes, they just need to kind of switch off, cool down. Think about what a solar eclipse is. You literally the nodes are swallowing the light of the sun. And it gives us a chance just to go, okay, put an end to that chapter and let's start a new one. So there might be some very big present themes for you. Usually there are with eclipses. It could be relationships, it could be work related. But reflect on what the decision is for you between the axis of your spiritual development and work life, everyday life and routines. What is the best path for you to move forward to find that spiritual expression of your chart? Because that's what's being amplified for you right now. Even if you haven't got planets there, the North Node is bringing energy to that part of your chart, to that part of your energy, and to that part and area of your life. And so enjoy it, even if that means you've got to let go of some things. That said, you know, it could be too overwhelming at times. The Piscean energy can get really overwhelming, and you might feel like you actually need to reground and reset and come back to the physical world, because we need to have the physical world in structure so that we can find flow. And so if that means that you need to, you know, not run away from the South Node in Virgo, embrace it. And this is what I'm trying to do this moon cycle. upcoming moon cycle. I'm embracing the new moon cycle here in Virgo to get the working mechanics of my life in order. Why? Because I know that there is something that the Piscean energy and part of me is I've got a lot coming in. I've got planets there, but even if you haven't got planets there, I'm working with a woman right now who hasn't got any planets in her fifth house, yet that's where the North Node is transiting. And this nodal transit for her has been all about actually her moving freelance and finding balance between the structure and day-to-day reality of her work life, in the collective, within society. She travels around a lot with it. It's a big company, she's part of a big team. And so this is all about her finding her individual expression of her gifts and what she's sharing with her own spirituality and on her path. So even though she hadn't got planets there, this has been part of her nodal transit. And so really reflect on the house and just reflect on the area of life. What is that? How is that showing up for you? What could that mean? And then reflect on if you've got planets there and what are those parts of your personality? What have you been needing to do and let go of and restructure and redefine to move more towards that part of your spiritual growth and expansion? And so this cycle will have the full moon and it will be a partial eclipse again in Pisces. And we get a chance now to really close up this 18-month cycle and press those final reset buttons. This is the opportunity. This is what's available. You can just let it fly by, or you can engage with this eclipse season and really go in and reflect on what have you been fixing? What has been healing? Virgo is the sign of healing. What has needed to be healed? What judgments, criticisms, what Virgo shadows have needed to go out? They that might have been people, kind of been workplaces. It could be just, it doesn't necessarily mean it was showing up as Virgo shadows. Like I said, this could show up in many, many different ways. Finding commitment to getting things done and putting dedicated effort into something. And so you really got to look at the area of life and then reflect on that. And this moon cycle, this is the part of your chart that's being activated. And so it's the part of your chart that you're getting a chance to evolve. And whether we've got eclipses or not, the moon cycles are a time of growth. They're a time of soul growth and development. It's just the eclipses come in to give us a moment to reset and to move inwards and to put a pause, to not rush anything, but actually just replug ourselves into that part of our life. Really, and see it in that way. That's how I'm seeing it. Replugging myself in to that part of my life so that I can actually embody it and work with it in a healthy way, in a way that enables me to find balance between the Virgo and the Pisces energy. So when we're looking at this, the other planets here, we've got the eclipse here in Virgo. And what I love about this new moon cycle is that we've got a grand trine here between Saturn, Venus, and Mars. Remember, this is the photograph. So this is the undercurrent. It's a birth map of this moon cycle. And it's a supportive energy between the planet of love, relationships, values, the planet of authority, discipline, karma, responsibilities, and the planet of action, motivation, drive, and energy moving forward. Especially with the signs that they're in, being in the air signs, there is likely a natural flow of ideas, of communication, especially within relationships. This is a really good time to find order within relationships, to find all relationships, whether it be your romantic relationship, work, family. There may have been themes that have come up over the previous eclipse season and this eclipse thread or this eclipse series from last year. And so this final cycle, really supportive trine here that just allows communication to flow. There's a relaxing into finding balance and harmony in a drive or in a movement forward with communications. And Saturn here in Aquarius, which is been there for a while, it's got a while longer there, right in the middle of Aquarius, being able to think outside the box and bring order to anything that may have been coming up karmically to be figured out, anything that has felt unstable or boundaryless, with this nodal journey. The Pisces energy might have come in and felt overwhelming, as I said, or highly connected. Saturn brings us into reality, and it brings ideas and visions and new ways of thinking into reality. And so we've got this here, and this you may find shows up personally for you in your personhood as an individual, or within your relationships, anything that you're moving forward with. If you're a writer, if you're creative, this is also going to be a good time. You're pressing start and stop on a certain area of your life, on certain themes they just shared, but also for you to really tap into this thought space, the thought sphere, this grand air trine, and bring to reality, relationships that hold value for you. Things that you enjoy or inspire you or excite you, Gemini, finding action towards things that you enjoy, that are fun, and these inspiring you in however you're working towards your spiritual development, to actually bring these intuitions, innovations into the realm of real life. And again, this is going to be very, very unique to your chart and where these planets are in your chart, and how this new moon cycle and this eclipse is triggering your unique energy. And if you're interested to come and get a reading with me, then you can just check that through my website, just to find out. We all have find out how you can work with this cycle. We all have a unique birth map, and at any one point in time, the celestial transits are triggering our energy. And so the moon cycle are mini soul cycles of growth, of development. And so if there have been big themes coming up for you over the eclipse seasons, or just in general right now, if this is resonating with you, then you can check that at my site, astrology@jessicamary.com. So we've also got this, beyond this grand trine that is very supportive, there's a tension here. And squares can be really useful when they're worked with for their challenge. You meet the challenge here. Planet of action, planet of the mind, of the emotions, of behaviors. Mars square Mercury and the moon. Don't let yourself get overheated. Creating too much heat for the mind, inflammation of the mind, inflammation of the emotions. If you're someone that gets hot-headed or gets fired up easily, just taking a breath and allowing this moon cycle, just breathe into it and remind yourself just to stay grounded, using grounding stones, your smoky quartz. And just get the little things done. Be patient with yourself. Don't let yourself get overheated, especially with Mars being in Gemini. Do things that feel good to the nervous system. yoga, breathing, yin yoga, things that calm the nervous system. This is going to be a good tip for this moon cycle. Really relax into it and take time. Take time in that part of your chart. Take time in the Virgo part of your chart. Put your energy there. When it comes to the full moon, take time with that part of your chart. You know, if you've got this new moon starting in your ninth house, take time to connect with your belief systems. You know, with it could be education, could be travel. With this, someone with this eclipse season happening within the axis of the ninth and the third house, you could really be reevaluating whether you want to have stayed at your job. You might have moved jobs, moved country. This is someone also who could, you know, is it the education sphere as well? So someone with, I've seen a lot of health or fitness or people involved in health with, you know, teachers, also librarians, crafts people. You know, this is also could be some crafts person who's got a lot of different spiritual mythological ideas that come in. There's been some shift that's happened. And, you know, it's all about moving towards more learning, a different way of developing and sharing your gifts, your spirituality through your art. You know, if you've been traveling, there might be a new community or a new immediate environment that you're going to. So, I mean, this can show up in many, many ways. So this is just some things to look at, and so just take time, the Virgo part of your energy, any planets there, and if you haven't got planets there, the house that it's in, and really reflect and use this eclipse season to reflect on how you can really ground down and support that area of your life, and what is it meaning for you and the area of your life where Pisces is, because you've got a lot of energy coming into that part of your chart. And this will be going on for a few months more. So use this eclipse season. It's a really great time just to press the final reset button before we've learned all the soul lessons really, or we've had the chance to take us through this development cycle of, and the geckos are speaking to me, so that's always a good sign. Yeah, learning all the lessons that this soul evolution that we've all been going through on this axis of development in the physical realm, the earthly realm, and spiritual growth and expansion. So I hope that is food for thought. Stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing more videos. I've also got a microphone waiting for me in San Marcos, so I hope to be more committed, more Virgo. Maybe that's something I need to reflect on this eclipse season, doing more regular videos. So yes, they're coming soon, and I'm also putting together a moon signs course, which I've been working on for a while, and a book, and I've been really putting my energy into that, so I'm really excited to come out with that soon too. So sending you all many blessings, moon blessings. Enjoy the moon cycle. Please write comments and sending lots of love. Bye bye.